We are live. This is Travis from Carter Cow Capital, helping you fight for your financial freedom throughout the forex market. This is another episode of Trade with Travis, episode 285, where we end up doing this on TradingView and we end up simulcasting it on YouTube. Hope everybody's doing very well this morning. As we go through and be able to take a look at some trading opportunities, I'm going to go ahead and go through the disclaimer, and then after that, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from that education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. Now, understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money, also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind. And understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you end up making money yesterday, it is not promised that you can end up making money today. So with that being said, I'm going to show myself on the screen in 1 second. Block, what's going on? I see that you're here. Thanks for being able to pop in. Everybody else that is watching on TradingView, thanks for being able to pop in. Make sure that you just send me a message. Let me know if my sound is good as I'm trying to get everything else situated. Um, but a lot of stuff happened yesterday. We had um, oh, you've been going right live right when I've been looking at my phone. Well, cool. That's great. I've been trying to hurry up and get everything else situated, but um, trading is being stagnant. That's the best way to be able to say it when it comes down to me. Trying to find better positions, and then after that, I've been missing spots. Like yesterday, when FOMC actually ended up going out, I wasn't in a position to be able to make a trade, so I just did not make a trade. Just wasn't in front of the computer to be able to do the things that I wanted to. So I just decided to be able to kind of stay away yesterday, but we'll get to it. So today, Wednesday, we had FOMC. Obviously, we ended up having um, Jerome Powell ended up speaking for a little bit, being able to talk about what was happening with the market. Um, Officially, EDD, what's going on? Hope everything's going well with you. Finally, kind of live and nice. Um, let's see. Today, what we're going to end up seeing is unemployment actually ended up happening. Retail sales actually ended up happening for the Australian dollar. Ended up being pretty good. We end up taking a look at what's going to end up happening today. We're going to end up having an interest rate decision meeting today as well. So we ended up having FOMC yesterday, and now we end up having interest rate decision today. It's expected that the interest rate is going to end up going up 0.25 basis points again. The same thing has been happening with every other currency at this particular point. I think the lowest right now that I've seen is Japan and I believe Australia. I think Australia ended up pushing up 3.85, I believe, um, and kind of going from there. But today is going to end up being a fundamentals day again. Thursday will end up being another fundamentals day, and then after that, obviously, we got Friday. We're going to end up having, we should be having non-farm payroll, I believe, because it's the first Friday of the month. Um, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. We're going to start off with the United States dollar index, like always. And from the United States dollar index, from a weekly perspective, I'm going to go over this real quick because we've been looking at this pretty much all week. Market yesterday was inside of consolidation. Obviously, we're still over top of this magenta line, which means that we're still considered to be quote unquote bullish. But yesterday wasn't necessarily a good day when it came down to news and everything else like that. Had a little bit of a pop up at the beginning of the news, and then after that started to reject. We're still inside of this consolidation. The consolidation support is at 12,760, and the resistance is at 12,850. Until it actually ends up breaking out of that area, there's really no valuable position to be able to get into and kind of be able to like a move when it comes down to U.S. based pairs. Once again, that was kind of one of the reasons why I kind of stayed out of the movements that I was looking at earlier this morning or earlier yesterday. The only thing that I truly liked yesterday was what we ended up looking at with Nas 100. And quite frankly, if you didn't get into that on a Friday, then there really wasn't a move to be able to make. So let's go ahead and take a look at oil. But just keep in mind when we take a look at U.S. based pairs, it's still basically in consolidation. April is more of a consolidation month anyway, so it doesn't necessarily surprise me. Now, with that being said, what did surprise me was what happened with oil. Um, Oil has been inside of consolidation for um, at least until what October of, let's see, when did it start? Um, since November of 2022, I've been in the same swing trades for about 2 weeks now. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. The market just hasn't been moving, and I think sometimes when you end up doing that, no trades better than getting chopped up. Yes, yes. So we ended up talking about this one a little bit early. We said I think it was a couple weeks ago when the market ended up rejecting off of 82.50. The support has been $70 per barrel. Currently, right now, as we speak, the market's at 69.49. I don't know if it's going to stay there for long and kind of be able to pop back up. But if you are a trader that loves being able to trade strategy 4, which is basically buying that support and or selling at resistance, this will be something that I will pay attention to. I want to see how the market's going to end up reacting when it comes down to that. Uh, Also, we need to pay attention to if there's anything on Bloomberg or anything else like that talking about what's happening with oil production. Let's see. This respects to Federal Reserve announcement that's going to end up happening a little bit later on today. Um, First Republic economists. Typically, you will see something about what's going on with oil reserves or oil supplies. Okay, oil sinks below $70. Regional bank route droughts. Let's see, S&P futures 500 process with respect to Federal Reserve rate decision. Okay, so even based off of that small little read, I think what's going to end up happening today um, is going to affect what's going to happen with oil in general, and what's going to be said today is going to end up affecting what's going to happen with oil in general. So this may be one of those spots to where I don't want to jump out on it early. Um, But if I can be able to catch it around this area or see that there's going to end up being some type of a U-turn around this area, I may be very much interested in being able to jump in um, on a buy. This is more of a not a 5% type of trade, but like a 1% type of trade, but that has good potential that you can kind of be able to get into it a couple times before the market actually truly makes its move. So this is what I'm paying attention to. I want to see if the market is going to end up giving me a viable U-turn in the buy zone on the 2 hour. We can be able to get that and get counter trend line break in the 2 hour with a value U-turn. That is what I'm going to be paying attention to, and that is the move that I will get into. My stop loss will be. Let's talk about stop loss here. Let's go. The last time the market ended up making this move and before popping back up from that $70 a barrel area, the $70 a barrel area. The U-turn ended up happening about right here. So I would say that my stop loss will probably have to be below that number. But the stop loss in general have to be below that number. I'm saying 66.50 as a stop loss, at least for right now. Looking for a U-turn. That U-turn will end up being right around $70 a barrel. And take profit on this one. You could do it two different ways. We go based off of the strategy 4. I was saying that the take profit will be back inside of this little halfway point area. So we're looking at something to the equivalent of 76.50, getting in at 69.50, getting out at 76.50 with a stop loss of 66.50. Um, It'll be something to the equivalent of that I'm looking for. So I'm going to pay attention to this a little bit more. I think that the move will actually be made a little bit closer to when the news comes out at 2 o'clock today, or whatever time that is for you in your area. But that'll be one that I'm really kind of paying attention to. I don't want to jump into it early. because wherever this counter trend line break U-turn actually happens is the area where I would like to be able to get in. But that is what I'm looking at. I do like that. I'm going to come back to that one. So U.S. Canadian dollar would be something I want to go ahead and pay attention to as well. We'll come back to that one. But oil is um, something that I like to be able to see right there. Now, gold. Talked about this yesterday, being able to break out of 2010. Anybody end up jumping in on the straight after it broke out of 2010? Um, let's see. Remember, there's a uh, basically weekly and monthly resistance at 2070. This market has broken out to the upside. There's a D extension at 2199. Um, we go to what's happening based off of the daily. The market ended up hitting 1975 and bounced right off in that area. So once again, another strategy forward type of trade. If you end up taking that yesterday, then quite frankly, you would end up having a big pop from that movement, or at least had some pretty good movement from that actual spot. Um, and then from there, market has broke out. Remember, anytime that there's a breakout, there will end up being a retest. So if you did not catch the initial move, don't be mad. Just know that something may end up happening like this. It goes your breakout. Retest will probably end up being right around 2010. At the most, if it does fall down anymore, it may end up falling down to the 1995 area, which is the middle portion of this consolidation. And then after that, be able to pop back up to the upside. So I'm looking at one of those types of movements. If the market ends up rejecting, falling down to 2010, kind of holding support, and then popping back up, I would like to be able to get in from there. But like I ended up saying yesterday, did I make a move yesterday when it came down to entries, just based off of what we end up talking about. So I am looking at these moves, but now the metals and oil are starting to be viable players. Bitcoin, if gold ended up popping out of that area, then Bitcoin must have had a good move yesterday. It was a decent move. Market ended up falling down to support at 27,750. Then after that, started to reject and started to push back up. The consolidation was from 26,000 to 29. The market has pushed up past 30,000 when it came down to this movement. Uh, I'm just gonna say this. Obviously, this being the guy that pays attention to what's happening with cryptocurrency from a maybe an hourly standpoint, a day, not necessarily looking at it all day long. Um, we talked about this move earlier and how once the market ended up holding above 29,000, then overall, when you take a look at it from a daily perspective, it will be back inside of this zone where the market kind of lived for the last 2 years, from 29 all the way to 65. So if you have not made a move inside of this area, start being able to pick up on buys or anything else like that. This is almost truly like the last great discount that you're probably going to end up getting when it comes down to this price. Now you may say $29,000 to, I mean 29, or getting in at 29 is not necessarily a discount. Now I almost agree with you when it comes down to that, but for the people that love to be able to trade Bitcoin and just being able to look at its price from a swing trader perspective, this is probably going to end up being, you don't catch it around this area, or catch it if it falls below this area and falls back down to support. This is probably the last good area that you can be able to get into before the market truly starts making a swing. So if we go based off of this, there goes a counter trend line breaking, there goes a retest. If you're going based off of the rules of being able to say, hey, you want to get in you want to wait until the market kind of breaks out of this little blue area, because this blue area has been consolidation. I can understand that. Um, Me personally, I'm kind of looking at it at that same way. I want to see if it's going to end up breaking out of 29 and then kind of holding from there before I jump from there. I just went in. I have my spot bags on these. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna wait on that one. Um, yeah, I'm gonna wait on that one. But I do believe that 29,000 is the last discount area that you'll be able to find off of this. Uh, What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, we end up saying U.S. CAD. So let's take a look at that today and see what's going on with that. The reason why I'm looking at U.S. CAD is this. We know that the United States dollar ended up having oil ended up dropping down to 66. So that means that the United States dollar should have got stronger. We have that little bit of a pop when it comes down to movement. I don't like what I see still because market is still inside of this gold area. Uh, or no, let me rephrase that. I like what I see because I know what the range is, 132 to 140. Um, we have a morning star when it comes down to movement right here. Fell down to the 50. The extension will be at 138, which makes sense. 2 hour had a little bit of consolidation, broke out, kind of retested this. See, had a little bit of consolidation, broke out. Not necessarily the greatest retest, uh, but had that movement right there. Chat, what y'all think? Market fell all the way down to the 8.6, which means that the 2 hour D extension is going to end up being um, it's going to end up being at 136.45. So from a scalping perspective, if anybody wants to get in from a scalping perspective, there goes your get out area from a scalping perspective, 136.45. Um, 15 minutes a little bit more is a little bit overbought in this area, but I'm seeing consolidation, so I don't see that I don't think that that would kind of matter. I don't know if I want to jump in this one, but I almost feel kind of stupid if I don't. If that makes sense. Let's go with what we know. If oil pops up, then that means that the Canadian dollar is going to get stronger, which means that the market will fall on U.S. CAD. If I buy right here, I'm kind of going against what I said. I'm going against what I end up saying about what I believe is going to end up happening with the position of oil. Um, so these are saying two different things to me because if the United States dollar keeps on pushing up, um, United States dollar keeps on pushing up, then that means the oil is going to keep on falling down. Or what could happen is the morning movement will end up completing the extension, the stop loss, and then after that, the market will end up ultimately falling because the Canadian dollar gets stronger. Okay, let's do this. Let's look at a scalp. Let's see if I can get something for us a scalp. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm looking for. We got to break out. I want to see the market. I want to wait about another hour to see how the market kind of rejects off of this 15 minute. I want to see if it ends up holding support right around this area right here, which will end up being basically those little support legs in this area right there. You can see that the market has hit this area multiple times right here, there, here. I want to see if the market's going to fall back somewhere around here. If that does happen, I'd like to be able to get in. My stop loss will end up being below this overall swing low right here. That swing low will end up being at 136. So you're talking about 14, 15 points if the market falls all the way down to where I think it will fall. Uh, Once again, I'm looking at this from a scalping perspective. 135.90. Let's go 135.95. Take profit will end up being 136.45. Not jumping in it yet. The only reason why I'm not jumping in it is because the 15-minute is not in the buy zone yet. Um, I want this thing to fall down first before that happens. If I do get in, market will end up rejecting a little bit, and then after that, being able to get in. If it keeps on pushing up without me, then it is what it is. I'm not gonna fight it. But risk would end up being 19 points compared to going out to 30. So it's a 1-to-1 if I catch it right here. If I try to catch it where it is right now and try to place my stop loss where it is, it's not a good risk reward ratio. It's still not necessarily the greatest risk reward ratio, even if the market falls down to that spot. But I would like it better if it falls down to that spot. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at right there. US CAD, I do like what I see. I want to see it kind of fall down and kind of hold support again after this breakout that just already happened. Okay, typing a while, yes, if that makes sense. But this will tell me a lot about what's happening with US oil in general, in the move that I'm looking at being able to make on oil. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and go to the indexes. Let's go US 30. US 30, the market ended up falling yesterday based off of the news. Ended up rejecting to the downside. We ended up talking about if it did fall, we wanted to be able to get in when the market ended up hitting right at the purple line. And God laid the market ended up hitting right at the purple line. Um, we said that if it was going to fall down and break yesterday, it would kind of fall down and kind of find support um, right here at the midway point. And then after that, kind of go from there. Total two requests at the end. Okay, so let's keep this in mind. Anytime that I ever see this type of movement right here, this little curve off right here, that means that the market is going to fall. It's going to continue to fall right there. It's no, um, that's the best way to be able to say it. But let's go ahead and while we're on trading view, this is a good time to be able to take a look at volume profile and see where the market would go based off of volume profile. So let's hypothetically say we want to look at being able to sell off of this move. This market is falling right off the peak of right off the peak of this high volume node. There's another quick scalping position from 37,700 all the way down to 36,618. That's an 80-point move right here from where we are right now. I like that trade. Just being able to go off this little spot right there. Um, I really do like that. I really do like that little spot trade right there. Just going out to about 80 points to the downside. That'll be something that I would like to be able to get into. Now, if the market basically falls below that position, we go back to the hourly and kind of get a little bit more information. If the market falls below 33,300, then after that we have this gap that we can be able to take after right here. But I like the first gap first um, as a position of being able to get in, as a position of being able to sell. I think that this can happen early in the morning, and then after that, obviously, at the end of the day, the market may end up doing something completely different. But from a standpoint of if I want to be able to get in, that is the position that I'll look at. I'll look at being able to sell right now. Um, so let's go ahead and set up a trade real quick. Once again, this is nothing more than a scalp. But I do like what I see when it comes down to this movement. My baby girl is up. I need to hurry up and close the session and be able to talk to her real quick. Um, Sell trade, short position. A B based off of this sell right here. Stop loss will be just above that swing high will be about 60 points at 33,777. So let's say 33,780 is the stop loss. Take profit will end up being 33,620. Once again, nothing more than just a scalp, but we're going after that small little gap space when it comes down to blocks. Right there. 1 to 1 risk reward ratio. Yeah, 1 to 1 risk reward ratio when it comes down to that move. I don't know if y'all can. Yeah, I'm going to let y'all go. My daughter's standing up in a in that crib. This trade that I'm looking at, I'm gonna end up making a sale right now. Stop loss is gonna end up being at 33.77, 33.770. Take profit will be 33.620. Um, Gonna lead us up for one quick second. If you like what I end up doing, please make sure that you end up clicking on the boost button. I really do appreciate that for the people that are on Trading View. For the people on YouTube, make sure you end up hitting that hit on like button. Obviously, as we end up taking a look at other trading opportunities tomorrow. Keep in mind, make sure that you end up keep in mind about everything that may end up happening a little bit later on today with interest rate decisions. Be patient. Remember, when Jerome Powell speaks, the market moves. All right, everybody, plan your trade, trade your plan. I see each and every one of y'all in the next video. Take it easy.